Welcome. Happy Sunday morning. Happy you guys could join me. This morning we are going to be exploring more of a yin practice. So if you guys could all come to your mats, give me a thumbs up that you could see and hear me. And we will jump right in. So this morning you will need a block or two. So make sure you have a block or two handy. You will also need a bolster or a blanket, something that you may need to prop under the sits bones, under the hips, under the back of the hamstrings. So I'll give you a second to grab those things if you need to, and then we will get started. All righty. So this morning we'll start in Sukhasana. We're just going to take a few moments to find our center, to find our breath, and really to come into the space of the four corners of your mat, into your body, your mind, your thoughts, and any sensation. So begin to come into a tall seat. If you need to sit up on a block or a blanket to elevate the hips, I invite you to do so now. Beginning to ground down through the pelvis, through the sits bones. Begin to feel a sense of heaviness through the lower body. Wiggling out any adjustments or things that you need to do before you settle in. Draw the hands to the knees, palms face down for more of a grounded sensation. Allow the chin to rest on the horizon here. Lengthen through the back of the neck, through the spinal column. And begin to breathe into the belly here, taking an inhale through the nose, fill the belly. And as you exhale, draw navel to spine. Inhale through the nose, fill the belly. Exhale, ringing out, drawing navel to spine. On your next inhale, fill the belly and allow your breath to come into the rib cage. And as you exhale, allow the breath to release from your rib cage, then the belly. Inhale through the nose, fill the belly, fill the rib cage. Feel expansion through the right and left side body. As you exhale, exhale, rib cage and belly. On your next inhale, continue with this breath and see if you can move it up into the chest, maybe into the clavicles, your collarbones, your shoulders, even into the front part of the throat. Feel expansion 360, front, back, and side bodies. And as you exhale, letting it all go. With your exhale, allow any sensations, tightness, or tension to release. Allow your thoughts to melt away as you come into this space, into this time on your mat to give back to your mind and your body. Take a few more breaths just like that. 3-part Dirga breath. Inhaling through the nose, fill the belly, the rib cage, and the chest. And as you exhale, chest, rib cage, and belly. Closing the eyes or letting them be at a soft gaze down at the top of your mat. So this morning we'll be talking about more of a yin practice, as I mentioned, and we'll be focusing on the spleen and the stomach. There's 5 elements in nature: fire, water, wood, metal, and earth. These 5 elements are matched up with the 5 yin organs, representing the yin and yang balance. So when we have yin and yang, it's a pair and they balance each other out. Yang being more of our fast-moving flows in our yoga practice, and the yin being more of long holds, stretching, being able to settle into certain poses for anywhere 3 to 5 minutes. So today we will focus on the earth element, which represents, as I said, the spleen and the stomach. The spleen helps with digestion. It sits behind the stomach on the left-hand side. It also helps fight infection. So I thought this was a really good topic to bring up, especially with everything going on. It's cold and flu season on COVID. A lot of people have a lot of anxiety and stress. So this is a really great topic to kind of explore this morning. Also, your stomach is located on the left side of the body. It's the primary organ, as we know, of digestion. Usable nutrients are sent from the stomach to the spleen. So they kind of work in a pair. When these two organs are out of balance, it can cause weakness, disruptive sleep, dullness in thought and mind, feelings of anxiety or nervousness, off-centeredness. And when they are in balance, it's associated with the link between the self and the world around us. We possess qualities of adaptation and spontaneity. The ability to kind of feel at ease wherever we are. So when we practice a yin practice, and today focusing on the spleen and stomach, when these two are harmonious with one another, when they're in balance, we begin to feel a sense of groundedness. We begin to feel earthly and sensual. That feeling of being full from the inside out. Take a few more breaths here, allowing the mind to continue to settle. On your next inhale, begin to open the eyes. If you're on a prop, you'll come off, and the first pose that we are going to start in is in child's pose. So you're going to take the knees as wide as the mat. You're on the tops of your feet. You're going to walk the hands out here. Left hand is going to come down and through under that right hand as you bring your left cheek to the earth. Begin to settle in, sinking the hips down and back. Right hand to come around the low back. So this is child's pose with the twist. If you find that your hips are not comfortably coming down to the heels, you could always prop a block under the sits bones or roll up a blanket and put it in between the thighs and the calves. So you really want to be able to sit in this pose for quite some time. We'll be exploring this pose for 3 full minutes. So begin to settle in. Release the hips back and down. Left arm is extended through under that right hand as your left cheek comes to the earth. Right hand's at the low back. And as you breathe here, allow yourself to feel heavy. So don't hold on to any muscle engagement. Don't hold on to any tension. Close the eyes. Allow yourself to begin to melt into the earth. If the mind begins to wander, come back to your breath. Noticing how your breath feels within your body. And as you exhale, allowing the muscles one by one to release. Continue to breathe here. On your next inhale, gently draw your right palm to the earth as you begin to slowly and softly push your way up. Sitting on the shins for just a moment, close the eyes and take 3 deep breaths here. On your next inhale, we'll begin to walk the hands out. Right hand is going to thread under that left arm. As you begin to draw the left hand around the low back, release your right cheek to the earth as you begin to melt into your child's pose, twisting to your left this time. Softening through the lower body. Letting your breath move into the places where you feel resistance. Part of yin yoga is to allow yourself to settle in to areas where you may find a little discomfort. So there shouldn't be pain, but there may be discomfort. And allowing yourself to sit with that discomfort and see if you could allow it to move on, to let go, to release. Close your eyes. If your mind begins to wander, come back to the inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe here. Can you release more? On your next inhale, gently and softly draw your left palm to the earth as you begin to rise up. Again, sitting on the shins or on the glutes with the feet to the outside of the glutes for just 3 full breaths here. Close the eyes, focus on the breath. Taking one more full breath here. On your next inhale, open the eyes, and you're going to keep your right leg bent so that the foot is to the outside of your right hip. So you don't want to be sitting on the right shin. You want the foot to be on the outside so that your glute is actually on the mat. If this is uncomfortable for you, then you could bring, I probably would recommend a blanket actually under the sits bones so you can have a little padding under the glutes, or if you need a little padding under your right knee. You're going to extend your left leg long. So your left leg is extended long, your right leg is still bent behind you. Inhale, find length through the spine, and as you exhale, you're going to draw your hands to the back of your mat behind you. You have a few options. Options to stay here, shining the heart, so don't sink into the shoulders or round through the shoulders. Allow the heart space to draw forward. Gaze could be either up at the ceiling or straight ahead. If this is comfortable for you, you could begin to draw your forearms down to the earth. Again, keeping your heart space drawn forward, don't sink into the shoulders. If that is comfortable for you, then you want to come all the way down. Arms could be down by the sides, or you could grab opposite elbows over the head. Wherever you are, whether you're up on fingertips, whether you're on your forearms, or whether you're down to the earth, begin to close the eyes and settle in here. Allowing yourself to sort of fight against the urge to move. Focusing on your breath. Let your eyelids feel heavy here. Drawing your breath into the parts of the body you feel sensation, and allowing your exhale to slowly and softly release. Continuing to breathe here. Can you soften a little bit more? Really focusing on this idea of not moving. Don't give in to the wiggles if something itches or is giving a little bit of sensation. Again, our focus is to withdraw from the senses and allow ourselves to just sit and be. On your next inhale, softly and gently use the palms to guide you back up to a tall seat. We're going to come up onto the left sole of our foot so that your left knee is bent. And you're going to begin to walk your right foot out behind you, coming into dragon pose. So you really want to feel the stretch through your right hip flexor, your psoas. So allow your hips to really start to push forward. Your left knee is tracking over that left ankle. So allow yourself to really feel that stretch. So come to your initial edge where you feel sensation in the front part of that right thigh. You're going to grab your block. Hands are either going to come up onto the block. Gaze is at the top part of your mat, a few inches in front of you. If this is comfortable, you could even come down to the forearms on the block. Beginning to let the head go, close the eyes as you begin to melt here. We are going to stay here for 3 full minutes. So allow yourself to be in a position where you can sustain that and focus on the breath. Don't hold on to anything here. Try not to contract or tense in the muscles or the ligaments. Allow yourself to feel heavy here as the muscles and the fascia, the sheath that covers the muscles and the ligaments, begins to release. If distractions begin to creep on in, allow them to let go. Come back to your breath. Focusing on your inhale and your exhale. Letting go of any thoughts. Letting go of expectations or hesitations. Allow yourself to just be present, fully in this moment. We're here for 1 more minute. On your next inhale, gently use the hands to begin to walk yourself up. You're going to begin to slide your left foot over to the long edge of the mat, drawing your left knee over to that left hand here, setting up for your sleeping swan. So your right leg is extended long behind you. The ankle is in line with the knee under the hip. You have a few options here as well. Option to stay up on the fingertips or the palms, allowing yourself to feel heavy there. So don't engage through the muscles to keep you up. If you find that you're really tensing and tightening up, then begin to try to release or get into a position where you try to release. If you need to put a block under that left hip, I invite you to do so. Take an inhale here, find length, and as you exhale, begin to fold on over. Maybe you bring your head to a block, Maybe you prop a bolster or a blanket under the chest, gently wrapping your arms around it, bringing one side of the face to it. Again, we're here for 3 minutes. So begin to settle into this pose. Allow yourself to release. Close the eyes. Unclench your jaw. Continue to melt into the earth, feeling that connection between your body and your mat. We have 1 more minute here. Continue to focus on your breath. Allowing yourself to be present here in this moment. On your next inhale, slowly begin to draw the palms to the earth as you begin to softly walk yourself up. We'll plant the palms flat as we carry that left leg back. Again, setting up for a child's pose. Take the knees wide, big toes touch as you sink the hips down and back. Arms can be extended long out in front of you, or if you like, drawing the hands down by the sides, palms face up. We're only here for a few breaths before we begin to travel to the other side. On your next inhale, gently begin to rise up, sitting on the shins. Take 1 breath here. Inhale through the nose, fill the belly. And as you exhale, let it go. So we're going to keep the left leg bent. You're going to walk your left foot to the outside of your left hip so that you can come to sitting on that left glute. Right leg will be extended this time, coming into our half saddle pose. So again, a couple options here. You could prop a blanket under the glute. You could prop a blanket under the knee, under the back. You could prop yourself up so where you have a prop under the back or the head. Take an inhale here as you find length through the spine. And as you exhale, draw the hands to the back so that the fingertips point away or towards, doesn't matter here. I like to have my fingertips pointing away. Now notice here if you're rounding through the shoulders, broaden through the chest, draw your heart space forward. Option to stay here and close the eyes as you begin to settle in. If this is comfortable and you'd like to go a little deeper, I invite you to come down to your forearms. Again, shining through your heart space, allow the head to be an extension of the neck. Don't jut the chin and close the eyes. So if you have a bolster too, you can also place it under the back so that you have you're propped up here. Beginning to settle in with your breath, close your eyes, unclench your jaw. We're here for 3 minutes. Can you move your breath within your body to the places where you feel sensation, where you feel tightness or some resistance? And with every exhale, can you let that go a little bit more? Continue to breathe here, focusing on your breath. We're here for 1 more minute. Are you still breathing? Taking a few more breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly and softly beginning to walk yourself up. As you begin to bend into that right knee, stretching your left leg out behind you. So your sole of your right foot is on the earth, knee is over ankle. Begin to bring a block or a prop with you to the front of your mat as you lengthen through that left leg. Taking a peek back, making sure that your ankle is in line with the knee. Draw your heart space forward, close the eyes as you begin to settle in to your dragon pose. Block could be on the lowest, the medium, or the highest setting. Find a space where you can settle in now for a a few minutes. With every exhale, releasing deeper into the pose. Allowing yourself to let go here. And you may find as you continue to breathe and we're in the pose for a little bit longer that you may not need a prop, that you might be able to come off the prop. So honoring your body, listening to what you need. Taking a few more breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly and gently beginning to make yourself up here. As you draw your left foot towards that left wrist, drawing your right knee to the long edge of the mat as we begin to set up for our sleeping swan. So again, keep that left leg extended long behind you. Find length through the spinal column here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, begin to walk the hands out, folding over, releasing the head. So a couple options here. You could rest the head on a block. If you have a bolster and want to prop that under the chest, you could do so. And if you need a block under that right hip, I encourage you to put something under there. Settle in here as we continue to explore this pose for 3 full minutes. Continue to breathe here as you find release. Noticing if you're clinging or holding on to any tension in the body. And with your exhale, allow that to let go. Find the release. We're here for 1 more minute. If your mind begins to wander, Draw your attention, your mind's eye, your third eye back to your breath. Take a few more breaths here. On your next inhale, softly and gently begin to make your way up. Removing any props. As you begin to draw both knees back, and the knees can either be wide or narrow this time, sinking the hips down and back on your exhale as you come into child's pose once more. Drawing the forehead to the mat or a block. Arms can be extended long overhead, or if you like, down by the sides with palms up. Taking 3 more breaths here. On your next inhale, softly and gently make your way up. Carrying the legs around as we come to a seat. We're going to extend the legs wide out on the mat. So as wide as you could possibly take them. Drawing a prop, so a block, a pillow, a blanket, doesn't matter. Something in between the legs so that you can either rest the arms on it or the hands or the forehead. So take an inhale here, find length through the spine. And as you exhale, begin to round forward, folding forward into your dragonfly pose. So again, forearms could come to a block as the head releases. Maybe you draw the forearms to the earth. Wherever you are, begin to release into the pose. Unclench your jaw, close the eyes. Settling in. Breathing into any sensations in the inner thighs, the hamstrings, and allow your exhale to release any tension you're holding on to. Focusing on your breath. Continuing to breathe here, maybe finding that you can melt down a little lower now. Releasing the head once more, drawing your attention back to your breath. Coming back to this idea of when our yin and yang pairs are in balance, and our spleen and our stomach are working properly and cohesive with one another, that we have the ability to be at ease wherever we are. So allow yourself to find that ease here. We're here for one more minute. Letting go of the sensation or need to control this pose by hanging on, by clinging, the urge to back out of it or move. Allow yourself to soften and be. On your next inhale, gently and softly begin to plant the hands to the earth, walking yourself up. We'll draw the knees in towards the midline, using your hands to guide the knees. Hands are going to come behind the low back as you just windshield wiper the knees side to side here for a moment. Taking 3 full breaths. On your next inhale, find stillness as you begin to lengthen out on the mat, coming into our final pose, corpse pose, otherwise known as Shavasana. If you'd like, you could place a blanket or a bolster under the hamstrings, releasing any tension in the low back. Let the palms relax down by the sides, close the eyes, letting the fingers, the wrists, and the palms relax. Let the toes, the ankles, and the soles of the feet splay open. Take several long, deep breaths here. Breathing in fully and exhaling slowly. Feel your stomach expand once more on your inhale, and relax as you let go on your exhale. Begin to let go of any distractions around you within your space. Begin to shift your attention inside. Bringing your attention and your focus back to your breathing. Bring your attention to your feet for a moment. Noticing how your toes feel. Noticing how the soles of your feet feel. Noticing your ankles. Imagine sending your breath down to your feet. Allow your feet to dissolve in your mind's eye and begin to move your attention up to your ankles, your calves, your kneecaps. Observe the sensations you feel throughout your legs. Notice your legs on the earth. Notice how heavy they feel. Allow your breath to travel into the legs. And just as quickly as it travels through the calves, the shins, the kneecaps, and the thighs, allow that to let go through your exhale. Now allow your legs to dissolve in your mind's eye and bring your attention into your pelvis, your low back, the belly. Softening and releasing as you inhale and exhale. Can you feel heavy here? Allowing gravity to take over. Continuing to breathe, bring your awareness to your chest and your heart space. Notice your heartbeat. Observe how your chest rises with each inhale and exhale. Letting go of any thoughts, any judgments. Continuing to breathe here, shift your awareness, your focus to your fingertips, your palms, your wrists, the back of the arms that are on the earth. Begin to channel your breath down into the fingertips, maybe even your fingernails. And as you exhale, drawing it all back in through the fingertips, the palms, the wrist, up into the elbow points, and letting it go. Once more, allowing yourself to feel heavy here. Begin to bring your breath into the face, the jaw, the cheeks, the forehead, the back of the neck, the scalp. Notice the movement of your breath through each nostril as you inhale and exhale. Begin to soften, letting go of any tension you are holding in your head or your face. Now let your attention expand out to include the entire body. Bringing into your awareness, your mind's eye, the top of your head down to the bottom of your toes. Feel the rhythm of the breath as it moves through your entire body. Take a deep, full breath in. And as you exhale, let it all go. Taking a few more moments here as you softly and gently bring your awareness back into the space, back into your body. Allow yourself to feel a sense of ease here as you begin to bring some movement back into the toes and the fingers, into the ankles and the wrists. Gently and softly beginning to make those small, subtle movements into larger movements. Taking the path of least resistance, rolling over to your right side. Basking in these last few moments of your practice. Noticing how you feel at this moment. Do you feel a sense of ease? When you are ready, coming back into a tall seat, how we started the practice. Eyes at a soft gaze down at the earth or gently closed. Drawing hands to heart center. Bowing our heads in thanks and gratitude. Thanks and gratitude for this time on our mats to give back to our minds and our bodies. To balance the relationship between our spleen and our stomach, to connect with the earth element, so that we may be balanced in all states of our lives, in all areas, in mind and body.